We're going to take a look at the forwarded email today. So I've included two forwarded emails in the template pack. The really key thing about the forwarded email is it's really an attention grabber. So it's really the FW that should get people's attention in their inbox, because it makes people feel like they've missed something. And hopefully they have missed something, because I think hopefully you should be sending this sort of email to someone who hasn't already responded. So this email can work really well for things like event reminders, webinar reminders, booking reminders, deadlines for promotions, that sort of thing. So a few things to point out. I mean, this is quite a simple email really, because what you're really doing is you're forwarding an email that you should already have sent to them. So this email should have already gone out to the contact and they haven't responded to it. So the important things to note here are that the subject line here, so FW, early bird pricing ends in X days, should be the same as the subject here. Otherwise, people are going to see through that it isn't really a forwarded email. And the styling of this email is very deliberate, because you want it to look like an email that someone has just forwarded from their Outlook or from their Gmail. Because I think that's quite powerful. I think if an email looks like I have personally forwarded it to you, which is kind of true, we're just using tools like Infusionsoft to kind of leverage that a bit. But I think it's very important that this looks like a plain text message. I wouldn't put images, corporate banners, dancing videos, that sort of thing on it. It should just look like, an email where we're going to forward this to this person because we think it's important because they haven't responded to the first email. This part up here is quite functional. I mean, you can change this text if you want. I've made this quite sort of functional, just wanted to check that you got it. You could say something like, we understand how many emails you get and, things can slip through the net. So before you miss out, we just wanted to make sure that you had all the information that you needed. You could say something like that. So I think, you could make this part more or less salesy, depending on, the tone that you normally write in and that sort of thing. Another thing, so this was based on an email that I prepared for a client a year or so ago, and what the client actually did was all of the dates and the event locations were actually inserted as campaign merge fields. So that when the dates changed, my client could just come in and change the campaign merge field. So the date, for example, would be something like, if I go to insert merge fields, you can insert campaign fields down here. So I don't have any set up in this campaign actually, but you'd have an option here to say event date, and then that would get in as that would get inserted as a merge field here. So just another idea. If you're going to reuse these emails a lot, you might be able to use merge fields, so you don't have to recreate the emails or change the dates in the emails every time, which it probably isn't a great use of your time. The second forwarded email is an example of a more creative use of the format. So in this case, the first thing to note is that the subject line, "Things finally came together," is the same subject line as the forwarded email. But in this example, we're not forwarding an email that has already been sent to them. We're forwarding an email that has been sent to us, either by a customer, by a supplier, by an affiliate partner, by whoever. So the really important thing here is this part of the email. So this part of the email is meant to create an open loop and make them want to read the email down here. So I've said, would you like to work 1 hour, send 3 emails and earn $1,276? That's a very specific number, by the way. That is more effective doing that than saying $1,200, which doesn't sound as believable. It might sound far-fetched, but that is what our client Joe Blogs has just done. You'd obviously replace Joe Blogs with a real name. Read Joe's message below and go to promotion link. So really what I wanted to do there, this section here has to be short. Don't have a big paragraph. The sentences are quite short, the paragraphs are quite short. I've got 3 sentences, 3 paragraphs. All I want to do is arouse enough curiosity to make someone want to read what the forwarded message was that I thought it was so important to send to the contact. And then what I've done here is I've forwarded an email from a customer. So in this case, an imaginary customer. I've bolded the customer's name like you would get in Outlook. So actually, what if you read through this? I'm not going to read through this, with you. But what the things to note here is that this actually acts a bit like a testimonial as well. Because what we're doing is we're raising the objections, and we're bringing the objections that Joe Bloggs had out into the open. So it starts off, I have to admit that I was skeptical when I first enrolled in the XYZ training program. I was worried that I wouldn't have time to do the work. I was worried I would be too stupid and fall behind. So what I'm doing here is I'm very deliberately echoing the objections that our reader probably has about taking you up on your promotion or on your offer. Then what I do is I do a before and an after. So then what I found was that Trainer Jane was super patient. At no point did I feel out of my depth. Jane did an excellent job of explaining the one single step I needed to take at every stage of the process. So words like one single step are really important because you're making it feel doable and you're making it feel less scary. Even though we all progress at different speeds, I felt she was always looking over my shoulder, pointing out my mistakes to me when they happened. This is actually quite a visual image to have someone standing over your shoulder. I'm reminded of a much older ad if you study direct mail, there's a really old ad where the headline was, "Do you make these mistakes in English?" And that, I think I've taken the idea from there, where the idea is that somebody is standing over your shoulder, quietly correcting you, and that's kind of reassuring to people. So I just thought I'd raise this as an example. Obviously, this doesn't have to be from a customer. If you are selling an affiliate product, for example, you could take the content that your affiliate vendor has provided you with and insert it into here, so that you're directly forwarding their email with your comments on the top. That's quite a fast way to get out a promotion for an affiliate product. So I just wanted to talk you through this really, because I think this can be quite effective. I wouldn't use it all the time. I would use it sparingly, but when you've got a deadline approaching, then I think it can be quite effective, and I would definitely consider giving it a go.